Hi everyone. Well, if you watch some of my past videos, you know that I'm a pretty big fan of Maker's Mark. And specifically, you know that I really love the Maker's Mark Cask Strength and the Maker's 4694 proof bottles. Well, imagine you could put both of those together in one bottle. That's the bottle we're going to review today. We're going to review Maker's 46 Cask Strength, batch 2301, 110.3 proof. The deal with this is not something that is seen everywhere all the time. It's actually not seen very often at all. I've only had this once before, and it was quite a while ago, and I haven't really seen it since. Basically, this bottle was originally a distillery-only release around 2015, and then I think it may have stayed that way or gone out. It was reintroduced in 2020 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Maker's 46, which came out in 2010. And since then, it's kind of been re-released as a wider but limited release. So it's been more widely distributed outside of the distillery to certain states, certain locations, but on a limited basis, which totally makes sense because I rarely see this bottle, rarely at all, and basically only a handful of times. It almost could fool you because it looks very similar now to the regular Maker's 46, and that's not the fact that this changed, it's that this changed. The Maker's 4694 proof has gone through like 3 bottle changes or so. This is the latest one, and it was made to look very similar to this, except the 46, the Maker's 46 is off to the side, and specifically they have this label down here, which is the cask strength, the proof, and the proof is also here. So, that's the deal. I want to see if there's actually a cork in here, because that's a screw top. But basically, I rarely see this, and I haven't. When I had it the last time, I was good with it. To me, it was just be a little bit more enhanced Maker's 46, but it was a while ago, and I really want to come back to it. The deal with this is, in my opinion, the following: if you took one of those just private releases, the Maker's Mark private releases with the 5 different staves, 5 different stave selections, and you had 10 staves of Maker's 46 and nothing else, it would be the exact same thing as this. But if you're going to do that, you might as well get this, because the private selections are like, for me, by my area, $69 and up, often $79, and this is about $50. So this is actually was under MSRP, because I think the MSRP is about $60. This is around $54 or less. I got it for around $50, which isn't much more than the regular Maker's Mark Cask Strength, and a bit more than the regular Maker's 4694 proof. Point is that if you just want to just have Maker's 46 and the private selections, you'd be paying about $20 more for that. Then in that case, you might as well get this, because that's really what this is. It's 10 staves of Maker's 46. So just to recap again, basically the Maker's 46 is basically it starts out as regular Maker's Mark. There's no age statement. It's aged in the range of 5 to 6 years, I estimate, knowing from my own Maker's Mark ambassador. I've kind of followed along. I'm taking it to be about 5-6 years. It's then emptied. 10 French oak staves are placed in the barrel. The distillate's put back in, and it's supposedly aged for another 2 to 3 months, roughly, give or take, with those 10 French oak staves. And it's the same process for the private selections with those stave selections, but this is how this is done. The only difference here is that this is then, this is diluted to 94 proof. This is cask strength. Actually, the story is that Bill Samuels Jr. was very comfortable with this. He thought this was the sweet spot at the 94 proof. It took some convincing people at the distillery. He said, hey, you know what? You got to try this Maker's 46 at cask strength. And it was just enhanced the flavors of whatever was in there. So that's the deal with that. And just to recap, the mash bill, as with all the Maker's Mark products, 70% corn, 16% wheat, 14% malted barley. Let's get this in a glass and see what's going on. And before we crack this open, if you just want to see, you can pause it. This message from Bill Samuels Jr. basically attesting to the fact of what I said, that he kind of thought the 46 sweet spot was 94 proof, but they convinced him to try this at cask strength, and obviously he loved it. And you can pause this side of the bottle as well. And there is no cork with this. This is a screw top. Okay, that is one complaint I do have about Maker's Mark, because this bottle This was the Cask Strength Makers 46, the regular Makers 46. These used to be in these nice, I don't know how I would call it, called a taller bottle. Actually, they were in the same bottle as the Maker's Mark private selections and the special releases that they used to have. They didn't have it this year in those bottles, but the prior years. Those same bottles, and they all had corks. Then they changed this around, and they put the Maker's 46 in that, gave it a screw top, and put this one in this bottle. Similar bottles to the regular Maker's Mark. Because when I had this the last time, it was in the old bottle and did have a cork. I don't know, there's something about a cork. I know screw tops sometimes technically keep the whiskey better, but I happen to like a cork. But what's most important is the whiskey inside. Let's give this a nose. Well, that is popping out, that French oak. It really, truly is. It just reminds me of those private selections, which I happen to love. And they're all roughly around 110 proof also. But this was those 10 French oak staves of Maker's 46 and nothing else. And you got that, and it's basically an enhanced nose of the, whoa, something's going to fall here. I got it. Of that. So, with that said, let's give us a taste. Cheers. That's delicious. It is exactly that. It is an enhanced, everything Maker's 46 is in 94 proof. It's just straight up. I think it's, you got 16, what do you have? You have 16 proof points higher. It's literally that proof. It just elevates whatever's in there, just straight up. I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's that much different. I don't think it's anything different. I think the taste is the same. It's just amped up with the proof. And, that's for also to decide on that end. Either, obviously if you like higher proof, that's good. 94 proof versus 110 proof. That's, I think, where this one was kind of like, Maker's 46, probably New Jersey, you can get it for as little as $39, whereas this is, and this would be on the cheap side that I got it on, is 50, 16 proof points higher. That's kind of a decision, but at the same time, Maker's Mark, the Maker's Cask Strength, the regular one, I can get for $44. That would be probably inexpensive by me. So this is another $6 if you can get this at this price for the 46. I love Maker's Cask Strength. This is Maker's Cask Strength with that 46 staves. Whatever combination, and these are all good. But this is just something that you just don't see that often. At the same time, it gives you that feel of those private selections, but at a cheaper price. So, you know what? It's all about your proof point. What is your proof point? What is your budget? But these are all good. Now, this is excellent. And vanilla, caramel, cinnamon, all flavors that are in the regular Maker's Mark just amped up. Delicious wheated bourbon. The next video I do with this, now this is going to be a good test. Now put these two together, because last time I did the Penelope Architect with this is in 10 staves. This is finished in French oak staves, but I put it against the 94 proof. Didn't think it was a fair fight. This was just more intense and very intense staves. I'd like to do this against this one and see. This is truly a perfect matchup. Perfect not in the sense of, this is a pure wheated bourbon. This is a 4-grain bourbon, has wheat in there, but also has rye. But in terms of the fact that these are both 110 proof, both finished in French oak staves. That'll be next. But in the meantime, going to finish enjoying this one. Cheers. Take care. Thanks for watching.